The Return, Chapter 4, Misunderstanding. When they entered the penthouse, they interrupted a family dispute. Frozen, Nadia and the children took a moment to recognize them. Johnson in fatigues, Saam in a grubby T-shirt and jeans, both in sandy boots that had seen better days. And the smell. "Oh, my God, you stink," said Nadia as she threw her arms around him. He squeezed her gratefully. "Sorry, yes, I do." "Do you need anything? Something to eat? Do you want to shower?" "Soon. Tell me about Tash first." He allowed himself to be coaxed into an armchair, accepted an ice-cold beer in a bottle. "He's not physically hurt, as far as you know." "No." Nadia watched as Lily approached him, rubbed noses with him, waggled her fingers in a two-handed wave, and mouthed, "You smell so bad." Saam's facial expression was a comical apology. "He's not vomiting, not having a drug withdrawal." "No, nothing like that." He looked at Lily's face, at the paint on Lily's face. Flowers, butterflies, exquisitely done. "Did you do that?" She shook her head. "It's beautiful." "Tash did it." "I guessed." "He did it yesterday. I didn't wash my face today." "Uh-huh. Okay." He looked across at Nicky, who seemed cleaner than before. His hair had been cut, his clothes were fresh, and his eye makeup had been done expertly, in the style of a High-Hanath nobleman attending a court function. Wow, that's quite something. Unprovoked, Nicky was immediately defensive. "I didn't do anything. This isn't my fault. Why is everybody assuming this is my fault?" Lily gave an exaggerated sigh and sing-songed, "Because it usually is." "Shut up, Tink!" He almost yelled at the little girl, who backed into the space between Saam's knees. Saam put a reassuring hand on Lily's shoulder, conscious that Nadia, who should know, was not taking the noisy confrontation seriously. There was no danger, no matter how Saam's insides were reacting. "I'm not assuming anything. I just want to know what happened. Listen, could Johnson take a shower? I know you can't smell him, but—" After a small pantomime of mortified offence, Johnson allowed himself to be shown to a bathroom. Nicky's angry eyes were still on Saam. "You weren't here. You don't know. You were busy jetting off to rescue some—" "I know. I wasn't here. So tell me." "Where is he anyway, Batman? Where's the new E.T.? Saam shook his head. "He died." He paused a moment. "Tell me about what you did over the last couple of days." "What? He just died?" Nicky tried hard not to show how much that appalled him. Saam was silent. "I didn't do anything." Nadia offered. "Things went very well. He slept a lot, ate a lot. We had a stylist come in and trim everyone's hair. They even managed to rescue that massacre of a haircut you gave Tash. I called the school so Lily could stay home. Then I called their dad. He should be here soon. He had to wait for his shoot to finish. To say that Nicky was here, that he was going to stay for a couple of days until the situation at school got sorted out. Tash ate every time food was put in front of him. He raided the fridge at night with Nicky. He seemed fine, relaxed." Lily chimed in. "Nicky taught him to play checkers and Tash beat his ass." "Lily?" "Well, that's what Daddy says." Nicky said, "Yeah, he got really good at it. We played some computer games and he was good at just about all of them, but he didn't like games where you kill people." Saam nodded. "That sounds great." Nadia went on. "We shopped for clothes. The Secret Service guy came with us. We were quite safe. Tash is very skinny, so it was hard to get clothes that fit properly. So we got him some workout clothes, soft stuff that will still fit for a while, when he starts to gain weight again. He looked ridiculous in jeans. I thought we could go again when he got some of his strength back." Saam carried on listening and nodding. Lily chimed in. Nicky kept telling Tash what to do. He tried to get him to have his ears pierced. He tried to feed him chicken. Nicky bristled when they all looked at him. It was only a joke. All he had to do was say no. Harder than you think, thought Saam. Did he eat it? No. No, I told him Nicky is not the boss, and he doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do. Lily was triumphant. Saam loved her for it. I told him Saam would say the same thing. Oh yeah, man, they're a regular little Saameron fan club. They think you're such a great guy. You're so fucking wonderful. Mum's chairman of the Saameron Appreciation Society. They chatter away in Russian about how fucking marvelous you are. But it was just a joke. She spoiled the joke, for fuck's sake. Stop swearing, Nadia said, frowning. We struggle to digest meat. It would not have been funny when he shit himself. There was a pause while Nadia gave him the same look she had given Nicky. Maybe he's crying because he misses his owner, Lily offered. Don't be an idiot. They hate the bastards. Nicky was disgusted at the idea. No, that's not always true. Saam said he loved his owner. He what? He loved him. Loved him? You loved the man who... So that means you liked it, right? Nicky looked disgusted and elated, like he had found something vital, some proof that Saam was not the man these people thought he was. Struggling to focus on what mattered, Saam said softly, No, I don't think that's it. Something has happened. Something has changed. But you loved him. Nicky, infuriated that Saam would not engage. I ended him, thought Saam. But that was a conversation for another time. This is not my fault. Not everything is my fucking fault. Where did he sleep? My room, we shared. There's a spare bed. He slept under it the first night, but it was okay. He was frightened of the cat. We don't have pets, especially not carnivores. You'll get used to the idea. What else? We went swimming in the pool downstairs. One of the Secret Service guys went with us. Tash has bruises, like, everywhere. Saam nodded. It was okay. Yeah, he loved it. He's actually a pretty good swimmer. Saam waited. Nobody said anything to upset him. He was cool. The kitchen staff liked him. One of them let him peel carrots for her. He made a hash of it because his hands are wrecked, really bruised. The knuckles are all swollen. But they told him he was wonderful anyway. They kept finding new things for him to eat. Nothing went wrong. They all liked him. I liked him. I get so sick of hearing about ETs, but I liked him. Saam looked quietly at Nicky, raised his eyebrows, a little puzzled. Nicky came for him again. Well, if everybody at your school kept telling you that your mother fucked an ET, what would you think? Huh, asshole? What if it was your mom? How would you feel if it was your mother? Nadia was trying to intervene, but neither was listening. Very softly, Saam said, My mother was breeding stock. Saam, helpless, Nadia was watching him cross a line. She had no say in. He hesitated, finally seeing Nadia's face. I don't think you should ask me questions like that. You don't know enough to understand the answers. He was simmering. Teenagers were a mystery to him. He knew nothing about indulging spoiled children. Had he been wiser, Nicky would have realized that the more softly he spoke, the more dangerous the man was. I know you've... He was silenced by Nadia's death glare. You hooked up with my mom. I know she never loved my dad because she still loved you, and that's why they broke up. He told me so. You're the reason my life is shit. There was a lot to examine in that. Saam noted that Nicky, her stepson, thought of Nadia as his mother, that he saw his unbelievably privileged life as shit. Most importantly, he had accused Nadia of still loving him, Saameron, and she hadn't denied it. Saam closed his eyes slowly and opened them again. Breathed gently, slowly and deeply. What did you do last night? Nothing. Fucking nothing. We just watched movies. He didn't know what a movie was, said he'd never seen one. So we watched movies. Saam went cold. Movies. Just the two of you? What did you watch? Alien. We waited for Tink to go to bed and we watched Alien. Well, that was enough to give you nightmares, Saam thought, but not enough to drive you under the bed. Nothing else? With great reluctance, Nikki admitted, We watched The Vengeance. We watched your stupid E.T. movie, okay? You satisfied? I thought he would like it. Huh. Saam let out a puff of air. He looked stunned. Nikki's Russian was poor, and they had sent Lily to bed. No one was there to answer Tash's questions as he watched the cruelty and slaughter depicted in The Vengeance. Saam's heart hurt for him. He pushed himself to his feet, feeling sore and tired. You're right, this isn't your fault. It's mine. I didn't brief you properly. I was in a hurry and I forgot. There were some things I needed to warn you about. Nadia, stricken, realized what he was going to say and put a hand to her mouth. She should not have left them alone. We don't have movies. We have plays, poetry, people standing up and reciting, but nothing like films, nothing that looks real, not even photographs, and definitely not movies, nothing like that. You're kidding. What stupid kind of civilization doesn't have movies? Really? Your people haven't even reached Mars yet. But so what? It was a movie. So what? Slowly and carefully, Saam said, He will have believed it. All of it. Thought it was real, like the news. Everything he saw looked real to him. I know because I thought the same when I came here. Movies terrified me. He paused. Did he see the scene where I died? Where my character died? Did he see that scene? Yeah, it's a brilliant scene. I used to have the poster on my wall at school before I knew what an asshole you were, okay? It's a famous scene. Everybody knows that shot where your hands go up like... He threw his hands up as if someone had shot him in the back. We watched that bit 3 times. Wait, what? Oh, no. Oh, fuck. You mean, he thinks you really died? For fuck's sake, he thinks you're, like, dead? Like, really dead? He thinks we watched you die? His pitch went from teenager to 12-year-old in one sentence. There was a silence for a moment. Saam lightly rested one hand on Lily's head, gentle on her soft hair. He walked across to Nikki, who was beginning to realize what he'd done. He was starting to cry. It's not my... Please, Mom, it's not my fault. I didn't know. Saam stooped, got in his face, as Nikki would describe it later. Okay. Listen, Nikki, listen to me. No one is blaming you. This isn't your fault. It's mine. I should have remembered. I should have warned you. I was in a hurry and I forgot. There is no way you could have known. It's not your fault. It's mine. My fault. All right. Okay. Saam closed his hands. His instinct was to touch the boy, to try to comfort him, but he was cautious. He didn't want to trigger an aggressive rejection. Nikki sniffed. You were in a hurry because you wanted to save that guy. But he was dead already, right? Yes, I think so. I think he was already dead when we got the call. How come? How did he die? Anyone who has been in a room with Saameron will tell you that his face is guarded, benignly expressionless, most of the time. Then, occasionally out of the blue, his true feelings will show. Shockingly, a wave of misery washed over Saam's face before he got it under control. I can't talk about it. Right now I think I'd better go and talk to Tash. He made a slight move, but Nicky cried out, "Wait! You can't just walk in. You're dead. If he sees you, he'll have a heart attack." Saam stood still, unsure what to do. Then he looked down at Lily, who had positioned herself between Saam and her brother. "And you mustn't say fuck in front of me. I am a child." Lily had taken years to lose the habit of saying child. Now she used it deliberately and to good effect. Saam smiled, bent over her, kissed her forehead. "You are right. I'm sorry. I will try to do better, okay?" He looked down at her with such obvious love in his face that Nicky could feel his envious heart beating. "Wait. Do you still have Felix?" The lifelike puppet her father had used in his most popular TV show. His wisecracking alien partner in intergalactic adventures. He had brought one of the puppets home for his little girl. "Nicky took it. I borrowed it." "It's okay, you can play with my dolls." "I wasn't playing with it, I was looking at it." Nicky glared. "It was my dad first, you know." Saam asked, "Do you still have it?" Nicky nodded. "It's on the shelf in my room." "I know where it is. I know where all his stuff is." Saam looked down at Lily. "Could you talk to Tash? You wouldn't be scared?" "No. You know he won't hurt you, right? He's just sad, that's all. Just sad." He looked at Nicky. "Does he know what your dad looks like?" "Yeah, I showed him photos." To Lily, he said, "Do you think you could show him an episode of Camelot and Felix?" She grinned and nodded as Nicky pulled out his tablet. Eventually, after some discussion, they sent in Lily. Climbing under the bed alongside Tash, she ignored the fetal pugilistic pose, the hands over the face and head, and just lay next to him, chatted as though nothing was wrong, watched an episode of the show while the Xonak occasionally opened one eye and looked over her shoulder. "You know it's all fake, right? None of it is real," she said in her clearest Russian. She dragged Felix under the bed to make her point. It took some time. Meanwhile, the rest of them agreed to act normally, not to make any kind of fuss, not to embarrass him. Saam, tired and badly in need of a shower, sat and waited, closed his eyes, gently nodded off for a while. Nicky watched him. Johnson, now clean, took Nadia to one side in the kitchen. "It was bad. It was really bad. I can't say any more than that. But he's hurting. He's tired and he's struggling. Is there any way you can... I don't know. Would it be okay for him to stay here for a while? Of course. Leave him with us. We'll take care of him." And Nicky listened. Saameron stirred when Nicky put down a bowl of sparkling water with a splash of pomegranate concentrate on the table beside him. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. Mom says it's your favorite, and you need to rehydrate." Saam smiled and picked up the bowl, cupped in both hands. It didn't look so strange when he held it like that. He sipped it carefully while Nicky watched him. "You can't drink out of a glass, right?" "Well, not without taking a bath." He carried on sipping. Nicky sat on the coffee table and looked at him. "Do you know my dad says he based Camelot on you? Reluctant hero. He even studied the way you walk. Like you have big balls, he said." Saam spluttered, and some of the water went up his nose. He laughed, wiping his face with the back of his hand, deliberately ignoring how Nicky, up close to him for the first time, was studying him. Laughed again, sleepily. "It's the uniform. The padding on the uniform, especially around the thighs and the groin. It makes you walk like you're wearing a nappy." Nicky actually smiled at that. "You know you stink, right?" "I know. I want to be here when Tash comes out." He carried on sipping. "My dad really likes you." Saam nodded. "I like him, too. I always have." Then, "He worked on the Vengeance just for a short while. He was a Hanath officer." "I think he stole the gloves when he left." Saam nodded. "It was a good choice, a very important part of the uniform." "He scared the crap out of me. I really enjoyed killing him. In the end, I think his scenes were cut because the movie was too long, which was a shame. We used to run together when we weren't filming." "Dad said you tried to kill him." Saam laughed. "Not my fault he's slow." Dad said he used to pick up girls by telling them he used to run with you. But he never told them he couldn't keep up." Nicky laughed. His dad had told him that, too. "I used to love the animated series when I was a kid. He did your voice, did you know that?" Saam nodded. "He invited me to his home one night. We had to be quiet at first because he had a baby asleep upstairs." Saam paused, looking at Nicky. "Wow, I guess that was you. Long time ago now." They stared at each other. "He taught me some drinking games. I'm pretty sure he cheated. I remember the rules kept changing. I remember laughing a lot." Nicky looked at him. Saam didn't look the kind of person who laughed a lot. At all, really. It was hard to imagine. "I got falling down drunk. He deliberately set out to get me that way. He wanted to watch how I behaved, how my voice changed, so he could use it in the series. I think he even taped it." "He got an award for that." "All I got was a hangover. As I recall, I woke up in a flower bed." "I love my dad." Saam had nothing to say about that. "Were you and my mom still, when they were together?" "No." "Not even once?" "No." "Tell me again, I want to believe you." Saam wasn't sure how to take that. It was a much-quoted line from The Vengeance. "This is where you kill me, right?" Nicky thought for a moment. "Did you really kill your owner?" Surprised, Saam said, "Yes." "How did he know that? Did you shoot him?" No." "Why not?" "He was wearing a uniform. Most of his body was protected. I would have had to shoot him in the face. That would have been... I couldn't do that." It would have been disrespectful, but Saam didn't say so. Nicky's eyebrows shot up. "So what did you do?" "At that time there was a weakness in their uniform on the sides, under the armpit, where a really good knife would pass through if you struck in just the right spot." He passed an arm across his chest and stroked his ribs. "I killed him with my knife." "He definitely died." "Oh, yes." "You're sure he didn't survive?" "Yes." "Did you stay to watch him die?" "Yes." "Even though there was a battle going on?" "Yes." "Why?" There was that wash of emotion across his face again. Then he brightened, looked across Nicky's shoulder, and said, "Tash." Tash looked around him a little bewildered, smiled at Nicky's, "Hey man, you hungry?" He nodded and said in English, "Always." Then, as Saam rose, he stepped forward and put his arms around the man, clutched him almost fiercely. Saam returned the hug. "I thought you were dead," he said in Hanath. "I know." Then, "You stink." "I know." Slowly, "I have to learn English." Saam patted his back and tightened his hug before letting him go. "Yes, I think so."